So I'd like to say a big hello to Natalie Amber. Natalie, thank you for giving up a little bit of your Sunday morning today to come and sit down with me. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Really nice to finally meet you.
Yeah.
I definitely follow you on Instagram. I see the work you do, and I love your positivity. I love your energy. You've gone through some really tough things, and to see someone so positive all the time and so happy to put their story out there to help other people is fantastic. So for anyone that doesn't know Natalie, I'll let her do a little bit more of an introduction than myself, but she does describe herself as a Crohn's disease warrior. So tell me a little bit more about your condition, please, if you don't mind, and why you chose to call yourself a warrior rather than a sufferer.
So I was misdiagnosed for 7 years. I was told that I was anorexic and that I had severe IBS, and this was due to them just looking at what I did as a profession. So I trained as I was at full-time dance school, and I'm a model, so they just looked at both of them and put it together and was like, oh, you're definitely anorexic then. So I had collapsed and went blind and had sepsis and kidney failure in December 2017. And I was rushed to hospital, and that's where we found out I had Crohn's disease. So my mum and dad were called into a room and said that we're told they have to prepare for the worst, like they didn't think I was going to come back. So that was hard for them. But the only reason I did survive was because of my fitness, which is why I'm very passionate about that now. So that, and Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease. We're not really sure what causes it. We don't know if it's genetic, we don't know if it's hereditary or environmental. They're still doing a lot of research. There is no cure for it as of now. There might be in years to come, but they're still being test run. It is basically where the bowel is attacking itself. It's like, you know, your immune is just...
We had a short conversation a couple of days ago just before this interview. You'd mentioned that other people in your family had suffered from a similar thing, so there is a chance maybe it is hereditary?
Yeah, my cousin has it.
Your cousin has it as well?
I've got 2 cousins on my dad's side. So one of them's on my dad's mum's side and the other one's on my dad's side. But there's a boy and a girl and they've both got Crohn's.
And at the beginning, you mentioned in a conversation we had that sort of the doctors and everyone didn't really believe you because you were a model and you're a dancer, so they kind of already made assumptions that you were anorexic.
Yes, they said I was anorexic and that I had severe IBS. We did ask for Crohn's test because, like I said, it was in the family, but they kept saying, no, you don't have it, you don't have it, and just before I had collapsed, he actually told me to go home and try and eat food for 4 weeks, then come back, which realistically, if I'm anorexic, why would you send me home when I'm not going to eat for 4 weeks? So either way, that was bad on him regardless.
So it was difficult to start off with, even with the doctors, and I guess with how you're describing it as a disease that we don't fully understand, I guess it makes it even more difficult then for you suffering it, and then maybe being treated like that at the hospital wasn't so nice. So are your experiences the reason that you are so outspoken about Crohn's disease?
So, I mean, yeah, even going to the doctors where I was always being sick and them asking me if I liked food, and, you know, being at dance school and they were always saying I was lazy because I was never in, so, and then I think it's that and comments from people that I've had in the past that have all pushed me to, you know, prove everybody wrong and to raise awareness, because there are a lot of people in the Crohn's and colitis community that have had, like, you know, nasty comments made. So I think if they see somebody, you know, taking a stand, it inspires them to then, you know, get the confidence and be able to come out themselves and be okay with it.
Because when I look at the way you put yourself out there, it's super confident. I'm sure that you've got your own reservations, but I wanted to talk about body confidence. I wanted to talk about scar love as well. These are 2 things that you really push as well. And we're just talking about negativity from other people. You mentioned, if we talk about body confidence, that sometimes you get people telling you that you can't talk about body confidence. What's that about?
Yes, I said the other day that there are plus size people in, you know, the world that like to recognise themselves as body positivity, because body positivity originally started with a black woman who was obviously a bigger black woman, and so they believe that this is just for the plus size community, which I don't agree with, because like I said, there's been times I've done projects with people that are completely fine, they've got no invisible illnesses, they've got like the toned body in the world, and they've been so insecure to send me a video of them in their bikini. It doesn't matter your size, it doesn't matter who you are, everybody has their own reasons for being insecure, so I don't agree with that it's just for the plus size of the world.
And talking about your scar and loving your scar, this kind of ties into body confidence. I guess it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm kind of assuming here, I guess these were ways for you to deal with what you were going through as well, to put it out there. Did that help to talk about it a lot?
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I never really was very open about, but I had a counsellor for that, so she was my way to vent, you know, things that you don't want to talk about. And then as I got more comfortable with it, I started to post it on social media, just to say I've gone through this experience, because I'm not the only one. There's going to be people out there that are still where I was, and they still need that little push. I didn't have anybody in regards to scars when I first had Crohn's to look up to, so this is kind of, I had to do it on my own, whereas I had a friend with Crohn's who helped me the whole way through with the stoma bag situation, which I'm so grateful for, because if I didn't have her, it would have been really hard. I mean, I have a cousin with Crohn's, but she hasn't got a stoma, so it was a different situation.
Yeah, yeah. And is it a case of self-therapy, by putting things out there, it helps you, but then also knowing that you're putting information out there that will help other people, because you've got a great following.
Yeah.
What are you on Instagram, like 8,000 odd followers
nearly
now?
8,000, I'm on 7,000.
You're on 7,000.
Yeah. Hopefully by today, 7,500.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Yeah.
And you know, I have to say, like I said, I love your positivity.
Yeah.
I love where you are. I find it difficult sometimes to look at what you put on social media. It's not always comfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find it difficult to listen to what you want to talk about. But I think, you know, massive props to you for actually doing it.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'd be brave enough myself. What do you want? Let's say in the next 5 years, where do you want to see yourself? How do you want? Where do you want to see yourself? How do you want people to see you?
So I want to continue trying to break the stigma in the fashion industry 100% with my modern agency. I have asked her to put me forward for more swimwear, lingerie, anything gymwear that I have my belly out. I've asked them to put me forward for all of that, because I don't see why I should be any different to the models with the clear stomachs. And we don't see anything like that. A lot of brands will do a special campaign just so they look good, and then after that you don't see it again. Why don't they do that constantly? It's always a one-time thing to get the brownie points, and that's not breaking the stigma, because breaking the stigma is actually having models as, you know, as your e-com models, and not just a one-off thing. So that's what I want to do, and raise as much awareness as I can, and just keep helping other women, because I know that I get a lot of messages from them that are still struggling, and it's not a journey that can happen overnight. Self-love doesn't happen overnight, and you're healing forever.
No, that's some great advice, and you have been nominated for a 2020 MTM award under Empowering Women, and this is for the great work you do. So congratulations on that. Very much looking forward to having you at the awards again. Please keep up the good work. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you, you're going to do it anyway. And thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.